morning. It is about middle of the month and we've got quite a lot going on, more than usual I would think for March, which maybe I'm just judging it from last year because last year was so cold at this time and cold and dry. The whole of the spring was a bit messed up, so I'm kind of judging it on that, but I think we're going pretty well. We've got quite a lot in the ground. Let's go and have a look at middle of March 2022. Straight out into the pristine blue skies. It's gorgeous. Spring bulbs everywhere at the moment. They're magical. So we've got these ornithogalum and chinodoxia in here that I only planted, what was it, like 4 weeks ago? Looking stunning. I'm so pleased we picked them up for dirt cheap. And there is a hellebore here, which is gorgeous. Now these are the canaliculatus narcissus, and I'm really hoping they're going to flower this year because they haven't the last 2 years. Hellebore, looking stunning. The apple blossom, look at this, it is just about to pop. The same goes for the other one. This has got a much deeper pink blossom, this one here. We've got a really nice collection of bits and pieces in here now, actually. We've got this heather, which is beautiful. There's the chinodoxia. And mint, you know, I've been trying to get mint to grow for ages and I just can't get it. It looks like it's going. Look, it's spreading all over the place. And there's pineapple mint on this edge. Fab. I know someone's going to tell me that it's going to take over. I wish the mint would take over. Hey, girlies, can't grow it. Pot area, I still haven't tidied it up. Daffs under the mulberry tree. Mulberry tree after its really quite severe haircut, but it is coming back. Look, there's a glimpse of green in there if I can focus. Yep, little glimpse of green. Beautiful. Have a look in the greenhouse. So we don't use the greenhouse an awful lot at this time of year because we grow most of our stuff at home because we've got mice and things that take everything out if we sow peas or whatever. Chives are good. We've got some erismium cuttings in the back there. Bits and pieces of house plants that we didn't really want at home. I've got this one, which is a white everlasting sweet pea. There's some cornflowers in there, potatoes. So these were the really early Red Duke of Yorks we planted. They're coming through, looking nice, ready for a top up. Plenty of weeds in the compost. But that's the biggest pot. That's got 3 potatoes in it, and then we've got a couple of smaller pots to the side. But they're all starting to appear, so that's exciting. Okay, this is my sea kale. I think this is the most beautiful thing. I know you can't feel through the screen, but it's like rubbery. It's such a beautiful texture, and the colour's gorgeous. It's like that really, really grey colour, and then this really soft lavender. It's like turquoise and lavender. It is beautiful. Asparagus bed. Nothing appearing yet, I don't think. I'll just have a look, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing going on. Although on Instagram I have seen like people are getting their first shoots up. Don't know what it is. Ours is always late. It's always late down here, even though we're pretty warm, so we just got late asparagus. But no, there's nothing going on under there just yet. That is one absolute monster cornflower that's self-seeded in there. It's an absolute triffid. This is annoying. Look at this. So these are the garlic chives. Look at that. We have got aphids on there already. Was it mid-March? And we've got aphids on the garlic chives. Rhubarb's coming good. We tried to do a bit of forcing this year, but we'd used our normal forcing bin as a water butt, and so we just had a small bucket on it and it didn't really work. So the ones that weren't under a bucket are looking a lot fresher. I've just picked some of this actually, so we're going to be probably having that for pudding this evening, which will be the first bit of rhubarb of the year for us. I'm pleased to say the crown that we thought had crown rot seems to have come back really good this year, so I think we've escaped that particular fate. Mum's done an incredible job with the strawberries here. This was looking a total state, but she's really sorted it out. It's looking brilliant, and we will get the strawberry box over them shortly. Second asparagus bed, nothing happening in there either at the moment. Brassicas. Up this way we still have purple sprouting coming, which is a joy. I've had a couple of years of dry with no purple sprouting, so it's lovely to have it. These are the 9-star broccolis, looking stunning in the sunshine. And then we have the Cavallonero over here, which is all gone to flower, but we're eating the flowers anyway. Very, very sad looking last of the Brussels sprouts. Sort of just tail ends in there. In the fruit cage, we have got the raspberries have spread like crazy, so I'm going to have to lift and move a couple of them because they've got round the base of the grape, which I still haven't pruned, but that is on my to-do list. So I'll have to move them away from there. We got some more strawberries down here in a box that we might try and actually lift up onto the wall. And then there is the last of the first of the tree cabbages we had. Gooseberries looking fine. Everything's come back to life. This whole area needs a huge mulch and a sort out, a bit of a weed, bit of a tidy. Here is the said mulch. It's currently killing the grass in a nice square patch next to the apricot tree. And now apricots. Let me give you an apricot update. So some of these are looking really promising. Can you see, if I can get this to, oh God, don't knock them off, Jessie. Can you see there's that little like flash of green right in the centre of that flower? That is a pollinated apricot. Some of these are not. You can see they're just a bit of a dry husk and there's no green flash inside. They're gone. But there are definitely some good pollinated apricots on here. And I'm not going to lie, I'm seriously excited. Oh yeah, there's a really good one. Can you see there, the little tuft that's sticking out that's green? Yeah, that's a baby apricot. This side the flowers are quite over, but on the other side it's sort of slightly more shady. The flowers have lasted a bit longer, so there's still opportunity for pollination happening. And it's starting to green up. We have leaves. That's what is that up there? It looks a bit weird. Is it something climbing through it? Oh no, it is just a stick. I'll get that out in a second. So underneath the tree we have got hyacinths and daffs, and also I've just spotted here a little snake's head fritillary. There's actually one that's out in flower over there, if you can see it, over the top. And there's tons of self-seeded nigella in there. That's all that fluffy stuff. The rose is coming back to life. Under the fig tree we have got the nicest selection of different daffs. Look at these ones. This is like, it's like a little teardrop. It is so pretty. There's loads of them. I don't remember them ever coming up before. Look at this one with its little white points on the back. Oh, so cute. So cute. And then the ones with the big trumpets. Oh, they're just lovely. Daffs are a really underrated flower. I think they're so pretty. And then we've got hyacinths. The white camellia, the fried eggplant, is looking stunning. Is at its absolute peak at the moment. I've still got masses of compost and junk piled up on this top bed here. But I am pleased to say the compost area is looking snaz. And we have gained so much space up here by moving those bins. It's just made a huge difference. This plot tour is basically just me showing you my daffodils, isn't it? This is underneath the pear tree. Proper like classic yellow daffs. Pear tree looking gorgeous, just about to burst into life. A beautiful thing that it is. Actually, talking of daffs, so it's not been so bad up here, but has anybody else noticed that their daffs have been scoffed this year? All of my ones at home in the garden just been eaten off. Really annoying. I hope that's not an indicator of the slug problems we're about to have. So this is something I'm really pleased about. You know, we planted masses of tulips last year. Well, they're actually, like most of them seem to have come back. We've got these gorgeous ones. There's like little pink tufts appearing over there. And we've actually got one out over there, although it's very tiny. But yeah, I was convinced that most of these were either going to get eaten by squirrels or, well, this one has been got a bit by slugs and snails, but there's another one in there. I can't wait till they come out because they were stunning last year. And we've got them in the bed with the dahlias because the dahlias come out so much later. They don't interfere with each other and it just gives the bed a bit of double usage. Look how much the Broadbeans have grown. Remember I only put these supports in, what was that, 2 weeks ago? The beans are like 4 times the size. Absolutely huge and so many flowers on them. I love Broadbean flowers, they are so pretty. They're like black and white stripy sweet peas. Absolute stunners. But yeah, I'm going to have to weave them back into these supports because they've grown up so quick. They've kind of missed the string. So I'm going to have to tie them in a little bit tighter. So these are the overwintered ones. I've got some that I sowed about 2 weeks ago at home that are going to go in probably early April, so we should get 2 crops. Normally I'd put some in like February and grow them on at home, but I completely forgot. The outdoor chard from last year seems to be recovering now we've got the birds off it with the netting. You can see how many things have got netting and cages and stuff over them. The birds have been going mad so far this year already. This was our bed that was covered over winter. It was a complete fail. The only things that survived in there were this, which is the green leaf chicory, and I've got like 2 chimney wrapper plants. That was it. Complete fail. Oh my goodness, there's so much to do in this pond. So much to do. You see how quickly the green slime has grown back? Like from last week when I hooked it out. It is back in full force. I'm pleased with what's survived in the side here though. We've got primulas up there. This is a massive pile of lickness that I need to move, but in and amongst them there are some like poppies. There's a cali poppy in there, and there's bits of candy tuft and stuff that survived, which is nice. Garlic. I haven't got these ones covered yet actually, that's a bit silly. I might have to move the cover across from here. These are the leeks and they really need to be eaten now. They're going to start bolting soon. But they've been really happy in there. I've got some musselburgh sown at home, so I'll be putting the next wave in soon. The one successful field bean bed. Look at these beauties. So lush. And we have been eating these constantly since, when was it? Like November we've been eating these. Fantastic vegetable. Those 2 beds should have looked like this, but they don't, clearly. Just a couple of weeks later in sowing and it was a totally different story. More hyacinths, more daffs. We need to give this another quick weed, and then I'm going to be sowing loads of poppies in here. The honeysuckle is looking fantastic actually. It looks so lush. Little oregano down here. It's a bit dry on top where it's got a bit rough over winter, but underneath, beautiful soft growth. Chives coming back. Got some thyme in here and some hyssop. That is so gorgeous when it flowers. Let's have a look in the poly. Okay, the majestic green wave mustard that's been an enormous success this year. This stuff is divine. And the colour of it is so bright. I don't know if it's coming across on the screen, but it's just a beautiful colour. This is a bit of wide leaf rocket, and then under here I do have some Land's lettuce that is just a bit hidden. I need to kind of sort that out. Chard Glorious chard, pink mizuna, and this is a red leaf chicory like the green one that was in the unsuccessful bed outside. Look at the colour of that. That is, I love it. Parsley galore actually. We are not short of parsley. I found the curly one has survived so much better in the greenhouse than the flat leaf one, so I think we'll be sticking to that from now on. Green chicory, another mustard. This one is dragon's tongue. Almost completely flavourless, this one when it's raw, but cooks really nicely. A bit more lamb's lettuce. And these have just completely sprung up on me. So they've been sat there doing nothing for ages. I had red ones as well, although they bolted in sort of February time. These guys sat there doing nothing for ages. All of a sudden, beautiful pak choys. On the other side of the door, we've got a bit more rosemary and thyme, that sort of thing. Peas are looking fantastic. You know, when I strung these up, that string was about 2 inches above them, so they've grown loads and they're just starting to grip, like their little tendrils are just starting to grab hold of the stalks, which is really nice. Just a bit worried that we've got a dip in temperatures coming up. I might have to fleece these chaps. Garlic and shallots in their allium leaf miner box. We've got the sorrel. I'm standing over here. Can you hear the girlies? They go nuts as soon as they see me touching the sorrel because they love it. Coming up. You love it, don't you, girlies? Huh? Is it the best? It is the best, isn't it? Yeah. Carrot. This was another surprise success this year. These went in at the end of September, I think. I said they went in October, but when I look back at the pictures, I think it was the end of September. The only protection they've had is from that Enviromesh, and they've been perfect. Still nothing in this bed. Lily is having a lovely time. Mum is hiding in the shed. The trellis along the side of the shed, actually, this is the Akebia quinata. Look at the beauty. I love it. Also called chocolate vine because it's got this really like buttery cocoa smell. Really a true beauty of a plant. And it's growing so well. This is such a difficult spot because it's right under an oak tree and it's really dry. Jasmine's coming back to life in the autumn and then got frost damaged, which was a shame. Clematis is coming back. You know, I chopped this one right back to the ground and it's responded really well. Happy, happy. I know, girls. I'm just looking at the flowers. And that, chaps, is the plot mid-March 2022. I think we're doing all right, actually. The sunshine really does help. Flying start to the morning, beetroot's in, and now I've just nipped over to Kew Gardens because I'm meeting some friends for a sit about in the grass under the blue sky and have a gin and tonic. Pretty perfect. Have a look at this. I love this tree. It's about 250 years old and it was one of the first like proper trees when they had Kew as an arboretum. When was that? 1750-ish? The tree was 15 metres tall until the 1930s when it came down in a storm, and that's why it's all sort of like bent over, and they managed to save the bottom half of the tree, which is a joy. It's a pagoda tree, so it has the most incredible yellow flowers on it when you catch it at the right time of year, and then these beautiful long sort of seed pods. It's just a joy is what it is. It's just a joy. I'm just wandering up to the Scion Fields actually, where I'm meeting Sarah and Sana and Cinny, but gone past this, and you don't normally get to see this wisteria without any leaves or flowers on it, so you can really see the structure. It's growing around this sort of pergola that's got a bench inside, and in the summer, or when this is flowering, you know what wisteria flowers are like, where they're sort of they hang in these long racemes, and the scent in here is unbelievable. No idea how old this is. Must have been here a blooming long time though. Look at that structure. It's like sort of dancing wood nymphs. I keep getting distracted, sorry. But how cute are these? So this is a European larch, a larix, but I've never seen them looking this purple. Like they're absolutely glowing in the sunshine. They're so sweet. That's what they'll become. Those brown ones up there, like proper pine cones. But at the moment, they are just so sweet. I don't think I've ever seen them at this stage where they've got all that colour. Right, stop getting distracted. I'm going to go and find the girls. Far too interesting with the stickies.
No, that's fine. Hold the stickers, yeah. I think I did get one of her. Looking.
The checkout. She didn't scan that, and then
prices were written in pencil in the front page, on the first page of the book. So obviously a lot of people came in with an eraser and tried to change the price. There was no barcode scanning or anything.
is a magnificent day yet again. It is so beautiful out there, and I've been busy as a bee this morning, but not doing anything that I particularly wanted to film. I've just been moving compost bags basically, because we have got a pair of currant bushes to go in, a black currant and a red currant, and I need to get them into the fruit cage. So I've just been sort of prepping. Mum did a bit of weeding, and I've done a mulch, covered everything up with horse manure. Excellent. And now I'm going to go and place the currants, because, oh well, I'll show you what I've done up there, but I've kind of moved the path over, and we're going to get 3 rows of fruit bushes in there. Instead of having them like on one side and the other, we're going to have a centre row and then 2 narrow things on either side. That's the plan anyway. Let me show you what I've been up to. So these are the new currant bushes. So we used to have red, black and white currants when we had the fruit cage down that end before I made this one. Can't remember what varieties were there. They'd been in there a really long time, and we moved the red currant to over next to the pond because it was a perfectly good bush, but it got a bit tired, and we wanted to try a different variety because it didn't have the best fruit. And we just figured, well, instead of kind of getting rid of it, we'll just plant it in with the flower bed and the birds can have the berries. So that one's kind of our sacrificial bush. So this time round we have gone red currant, we've gone for Roland, and we've gone Ben Lomond for the black currant. We're not going to bother with white. We never really enjoyed the berries, although they looked gorgeous. All they were useful for really was looking pretty. They didn't have a great flavour, so we've just gone with black and red this time. And George, who's got an allotment like in that direction, has got an amazing, like a pink currant, but it's not a blush like a white currant, red currant cross. It is a black currant that's like see-through, and it's got the same really distinctive flavour as the black currant. So we're going to get a cutting off him. But these 2 are going in today. So the path that I'm standing on at the back here, I've moved across by about maybe a foot, because it was central in here, because we had the idea that we were going to have the gooseberries on one side and fruit bushes down the other, so with the path in the centre. But actually we've got loads of space in here if we just put the fruit currant bushes down the centre, which makes the picking really easy because you can get all the way around them. And then we'll have something that's also flat, like I've fan trained the gooseberries. We'll have something that's kind of a bit more 2D on the other side, so we'll be able to get 3 rows in. When I've dug these holes in the bottom, I've just shoved a bit of the horse manure that I've been using as a mulch into the bottom and mixed it in with the topsoil, planted them in, and I've given them a really good soak in this bucket before planting, and I'm just going to tip the rest of the water over the top.
That looks good actually, got plenty of space between them too.
Loads of space,
Yes.
but it does give us the opportunity to have one more thing up that end.
Yes.
Okay, currants are in. Fab. That's something I've been meaning to do. Well, we bought them about a week ago and I've only just got them in, so whoops. Oh well, they're finally in. I've got so much work to do in this fruit cage. I've got the grape needs doing, the raspberries are just a chaotic mess. And also we've still got the tree cabbage from the original set of tree cabbages that we grew before there was actually a fruit cage here. They were here before I built the fruit cage around them. There's just one left, but I think it's coming to its end now. But then you're a bit like, oh, do I get rid of it now or do we just let it go? But what we've decided to do is we're going to grow our sweet corn in here this year, because this is like the best badger protection ever in this cage. So although eventually we will fill it up with fruit, it doesn't have fruit in it at the moment, and it's going to be fruit and sweet corn house this year. The gooseberries are looking fantastic, you know, the ones that I have chopped right back and trying to kind of fan train them against the edge of the fruit cage. They're looking fantastic. Strawberries in these pots up here, the dangly pots, are coming on nicely. They're still alive, at least. When I say coming on nicely, I mean they're existing. They need to have a really good weed, actually. I don't know if you can see, there's a piece of couch grass which is just growing in that pot and just going all the way down there like a nice hanging, trailing indoor houseplants. Beautiful. Actually, just going back to the gooseberry bushes, something quite interesting. So there's 2 original plants and then I've taken 2 cuttings, so we've now got 4. But this one on the end, I thought hadn't survived because it's running about 2 weeks behind the others, even though it's just a cutting of the same. Very strange, very strange. Right, this pink mizuna is really trying to set seed, so I'm going to just confiscate all the flowers. The seeds of these are from Wild Boar Farms and were sent to me by the great Instagram seed distributor, Ali. I'm going to try and get some more of these for next year because I thought they were absolutely fantastic. Pretty and perfectly edible. Yum scrum. Lunch is going to be a bit of a brassica flower fest today, I think, because we've got quite a lot of stuff that is going to seed. This is the tree cabbage I moved. You can see it's really recovered nicely. But as I've said before, you do have to be quite vigilant taking the flowers off the tree cabbages. So I'm just going to strip this one bare. It's probably got 2 more flushes on it of flowers. But because they're so delicious, it's just a bonus crop, really. So I'll stick them in my goodie bag. Next on the flowers list is the Cavallonero. So Cavallonero, once it starts doing this bolting bit at the top and starts producing flowers, you can just whip it out. But same as the tree cabbage, it's just a bonus crop. It's like a very, very, very tender sprouting broccoli. They're super delicious. And I just think it's a bit of a waste to take them out. You may as well just strip everything that's going to be edible off them. Once they kind of exhaust themselves with this flowering though, then the plants are over and you do have to take them out. But in the meantime, yum.
Very attractive. So I'm using up the last 2 bags of the horse manure, which was from the last review, so about 9 months ago, on the chair and the perry tree. The pear and the cherry tree here. Just giving them a mulch. We've given them a good weed and we're just tidying them up with a bit of mulch. Couple of reasons. Firstly, it's adding goodness to the soil. Secondly, it also really helps with moisture retention around the base of the tree, and everything looks better after it's been mulched. It's a universal rule of gardening, isn't it? So these 2 trees we planted last year, there is, this one's the cherry tree and this one is the pear. And look at this, 2 days ago, nothing. This afternoon, we have pear blossom. How pretty is that? Isn't that beautiful? I am so optimistic about getting our first pears this year. So optimistic. Okay, we are making progress in the composting area. We are. I got my canes in to the cane stand, which is good. So these bits where the pallet is upright, they make perfect cane holders or any kind of stick holders. I've got my rustic sticks at that end. I've got the old bits of the previous greenhouse in there, which are sure to come in handy. The tall bamboo canes, the shorter bamboo canes, and then the random bits of stick and stuff. Excellent. These are so helpful for keeping them firstly organised, but also they don't rot because they're not lying across the ground. And it's also really handy. You've got all that space at the back there, and I can keep my Enviromesh frames that are stapled to the wooden posts at the back as well. So it just keeps everything really nice and tidy. So the next phase of kind of changing this whole area up here is now I've got the bins moved, I've got all this space, but this is where the bins used to be, and we've got loads and loads of old bases under there. I think I said before that I was going to move them to after we moved the shed from this top corner, but when I lifted up all these boards the first time round, which was about, 3 years ago, maybe slightly longer, I found that there was loads of newts hibernating underneath because I did it at the wrong time of year. And so I just laid everything back down and left it and put the compost bins on top so that wasn't disturbing anything, and waited till a better time of year, which is what I've done now. So there's nothing hibernating under here, which is really nice, but it is a bit of a mess, and there's loads of bits of plastic and bits of plyboard, and I'm gonna have to clear all this out the way because this is where I want to have the flower bed and where I want to get the Jerusalem artichokes in. This edge of the pond is already a flower bed, essentially. It's also got the red currant in that was ousted from the previous fruit cage. That's kind of the sacrificial one for the birds. I'm just using a plumb line to kind of mark out where I want to extend the flower section to. It's going to go up towards the compost bin. It's going to go kind of in a figure of 8 around the pear and the cherry tree. And I'm just working out how long that space is really to see how many blocks I need. Because we've got grass paths, it's nice to have something that you can strim up against to keep it looking tidy. We'll go with these blocks again that we've got around the other side of the pond and here going down towards the greenhouse because they were by far the cheapest we could find and they've worked really nicely. Look at these beauties. These daffs are gorgeous. It's a bit of a shame because they've got such heavy heads, they fall forward, but they're still lovely. And these hyacinths, glowing, absolutely glowing, and the smell is amazing. Hey Lil, did I disturb you? Did I disturb you, Lil? Hey. Oh, she's a lovely girl. Look at that big yawn. We're heading off, Lil. We'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Good morning, good morning. Another beautiful day. Actually, it's a bit windy out there. Can you see all that? It's not snowing. I promise you it's not snowing. It's actually all the blossom is falling off this tree. Actually, I'm just standing here staring out the window waiting for Pat. And in fact, there he is. Because we are going to go up into Sheen Common and see if we can find some wild garlic. Woo! Hello, 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 hello. Hello! Welcome to Sheen Common. This is a patch of common land woodland about 3 minutes from my house, maybe slightly more, maybe 4 minutes if you're strolling. It's a really beautiful place. I've spent a lot of my childhood in here. It's about 20 hectares, just under, or what's that, about 45-ish acres of woodland. There's a bit of a cricket pitch. Actually, the cricket pitch holds bad memories because that's where my sports days were held at primary school, which is, well, it was just always a day of pure horror. But as long as I stay away from that bit, it's magical. This really wide main path here, if you carried on, it just runs straight up into Richmond Park, which is a massive, massive park. But this little bit of woodland is just a joy, and it's looking so gorgeous today. This shot is going to look like something out of Rambo, I think.
There's a suitable tree.
Was that the one we did?
Or was it that one? I like that one.
I think it's that one, yeah.
Is it alive?
That is the key.
the key question. Look at this gorgeous fresh tuft of elder sprouting here. Oh, it's soon going to be elderflower cordial time. Swiftly followed by sambuca time. Yee. Right.
Hop.
Yee. I hope so. That's not a real owl, that's Pat. Is it? That's the first one I've seen.
How lovely.
Bluebell's receiving a lot of unexpected attention.
That was a very
While I'm scoffing this, I'm just thinking about all the things I'm supposed to be sowing and I'm not doing. Sorry about the banging, there's a builder. And I've just realised I haven't sown the Thai basil I was supposed to sow in February. So that's definitely on the list this afternoon. And what else? And then I'm going to start with some of the first of the brassicas. I did mean to sow some of them in January even, and I didn't do that. So yeah, it's going well. Okay, I found my Thai basil seed and Mum is currently sorting through the brassicas to see what she fancies. We've got so many, particularly cabbages, and we never have a great deal of success with cabbages. Quite good on the spring cabbage front, but not so much on, you know, like the big fat chaps. We don't really have
I say much success, any success at all. None. Not an iota of success on that front. So I don't know if we're going to try them again this year. We might just be sticking to the spring cabbages. Anyway, talking about mums, well, it's currently Saturday afternoon. Cheers. And tomorrow is Mothering Sunday. Not sure what the plan is yet. We will play it by ear tomorrow. I should really show you what's going on with the seedlings we've actually got downstairs. Seems we did a plot tour right at the beginning of this one. It's a bit incomplete, isn't it? Seems we've got half the stuff growing here. Come on, let's go. I'll show you those. Righty ho, these are the chilies and the aubergines. They're coming on pretty nicely for scale, like that's the size of my finger. And I've also got these couple of chaps down here. Cucumbers are growing very tall. And here we have the tomatoes. Had really fantastic germination with them. The only one that was really slow was garnet, but now 2 of them have come up. So I'm missing one there, missing one there, missing one at the back and one galena. Other than that, I think they've all come up, which is pretty remarkable. Okay, so the ones that we've actually got out in the conservatory are these ones. We've got the Broadbeans, which are going to be sort of round 2 after those ones we've got the allotment. I've got beetroot that I sowed just the other day in that one. This is mainly flowers in that. Marigolds, sunflowers, some incredibly floppy sunflowers. I'm going to have to sort them out. Sweet peas. There's a lot of cosmos in there. Actually, I've got about 5 varieties of cosmos too. Over here we have got basil, 2 lots of parsleys, some leeks. These are an annual salvia. Lettuces. This is like a mixed lettuce tray that Mum sowed the other day. I've got the 2 kales from Alex and some rocket. I also have some horseradish, which is going to go into a pot up at the allotment. Oh, can you see my lemons? Okay, that is the state of things. I was just thinking, I'm sure I've sown some sweet corn. They're not out there. Maybe I've got them in the wrong section. Yeah, there they are in here. I'll get them out into the conservatory. But yeah, that's where we stand. Yeah, so things not looking too bad. Tomatoes are whizzing away and I'm going to be potting them up this week, I imagine. The chilies and the aubergines need a feed, so I'm going to bring the magical seaweed feed back from the allotment, give them all a really good feed. The chilies that are underneath are the ones that I'm trying to overwinter, and unfortunately, oh God, when would it have been? It was about early February. They got overexcited in the conservatory and they all started to come into leaf. And I hadn't realised, because I wasn't looking at them, I was just thinking they were kind of like dormant over winter. I hadn't realised that they'd kind of bounced into life. They were not in the light and I didn't water them and they were frazzled again. So I'm slightly worried that I missed the opportunity of them being overwintered. But we will see. If I see any signs of life whatsoever, believe me, you'll know about it. Anyone else having any success with their overwintered chilies? Right, so next week, chaps, next week is 104, which is 2 complete years of vlogging from the allotment. Woohoo! It's a big cheers to that. And funnily enough, so this is Saturday today, tomorrow's Mothering Sunday. Monday, this vlog will come out for my absolutely spectacular Patreons, and then on Tuesday, when this vlog comes out on YouTube, it'll be my birthday. So it's going to be the vlog's birthday and my birthday in the same week, which I think is nice. You may have noticed my March sowings video has fallen by the wayside. I apologise profusely. It's gone along with my March sowings falling by the wayside. I got overexcited about the tomatoes, and then once I'd done the tomatoes, which was my big like, I will wait till March to do my tomatoes, did my tomatoes, and then just sort of like fell off a cliff. I have really, yeah, I don't know what happened, but a lot of the stuff that I wanted to sow in March I haven't. Doesn't mean it's too late. Like most of the stuff is kind of, most of the stuff you can sow in March is like March, April, May, that kind of thing. So it's not like I've run out of time, but it does mean that I haven't done the things I wanted to do. So they're all going to be bumped into April, and I will have next week, there will be a video on what I'm sowing in April. And it's a considerably longer list than I had intended. But chaps, I think I'm going to call it a day with 103. Got some exciting stuff coming up next week. I've been going through, I say the archives, that makes it sound much more glam than it is. I've been going through my phone and looking at the videos from right at the very beginning. I've got to say it's really strange because I don't watch back the vlogs. I mean, I watch back, so I take photographs and take video. And I look at the photographs when I'm trying to see, oh, when did I sow that, or when did the apricot blossom come out last year, or something like that. I always look at the photographs rather than looking at the video because it's quite difficult to trawl through the video. And I've been going back through some of like the footage from 2 years ago. It's really strange when you just, because obviously when you're making a video, all you can see is the mistakes in it. And they were the first videos I've made. Like, it's not like I'm a videographer or do anything like that. I'm not. I just learnt doing this, and yeah, it's really strange watching back. Yeah, and it's like, ooh, cringe. That's awkward. Yeah, but you know, that's how it goes. And the thing is that I've said this before, but anybody who is thinking about starting a YouTube, gardening, or any other thing, do it. It's great. It's great fun. You do not have to know what you're doing. Just have a go. Just have a go. On that note, boys and girls, I am going to say massive cheers to everybody. When I see you next time, I will be a year older. The vlog will be a year older. It's all change. Will you even recognise me? Okay, right, I better sow this Thai basil. Then I've got to find out what Mum wants for dinner tomorrow night, because obviously it's her day. She gets to choose what she wants. That's my evening planned anyway. Happy Saturday. Massive cheers. I'll see you all next week for 104.